Trying to get used to recording. I used to get on camera for any reason. Spent probably the last 4 days, I think. 3 or 4 days, pretty much since I got it, on the 8 string. And kind of like when I first started playing the 7, going back to a 6 felt like playing a toothpick. Same kind of difference here. I got used to playing that baseball bat. That friggin', it's like as wide as a tennis racket sometimes. But I got used to playing that. Going back to the 7, it's about the same. It's like, well, this is smaller. Try that bit harder. tell you, I've really gotten a lot more used to the 8 string. I really have. But this 7 still feels like home for now. It'll improve. It'll improve with the big ass IB. But until then, this thing's just so damn fun. I have my RG 121, the walnut one, the like wood colored one, and I mean that thing was like $200 brand new. I don't think you can find it for like less than $450 now, but who cares? It's what I wanted. I like it. It checks off everything on my list. This brand new is like $200. I didn't pay it that. I found it on the marketplace for $150. I'm not gonna say what I paid for the 8, but that thing used. I think I found the cheapest used one for like $700. And the next one past that was $1,000. Everything past that was around $1,500. So pretty good deal on all of them. But even still, I think brand new $1,600 guitar or something like that, $200 guitar, and this thing still is just so much fun. I'm glad that I started playing again, because I forgot how much fun this can be, and honestly, considering that I've practiced, I don't know, 5 nights a week for almost 2 years now, I think I'm further now than I ever have been, and I feel a lot more comfortable with it than I ever have. So it's more fun now than it's ever been. Glad for that. In a world full of skies that rain shit sometimes, man, it's nice to have something that just gives you so much peace, so much joy, so much expression. It's a huge outlet. Sometimes it's kind of hard to believe that I ever put it down. Who knows where I'd be now if I hadn't. Always been an at-home player. I don't play with anybody. I don't really jam with anybody. I don't know. I never really have, so I don't have the experience in it. And obviously don't have the kind of discipline to one, stay on much of one subject. If any of you have watched anything that I've played, you see that I just kind of, unless I'm playing something that I learned from somebody else, which rarely ever am I don't really keep a consistent thought. It just goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, which is kind of neat. And I explained that to Steph because I literally, I sit for anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, 5 nights a week. After the kids go to bed, Steph says that, she gets serenaded almost every night before she goes to bed. It's like her favorite time of night, she says now. Mine too, but that's kind of cool that she says that. Especially coming from her, being, in PN at one point in time. She's a pro, so that's a real compliment. But, yeah, I've improved quite a bit. I kind of stay on a little bit of one subject now because, my goal is to actually write a few things of my own. If I never do, then I'm okay with that too. I just like to play for the real reason that the people start playing, like playing. I'm not like trying to toot my own horn or anything and saying that I'm like a real musician or anything like that. Just I am a musician now. I write my own shit, but it's 1 to 3 hours, almost nightly, of all original shit, all the time. And I fuck up now a hell of a lot less than I used to, so there's very little of that time where I'm just sitting there kind of, just sounding like shit, still fucking around. trying to find notes and shit like that. I mean, I still do that, but it's just to move on to the next idea, uh, and make something out of that. It starts out simple and just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, until eventually it evolves into something else, and I don't remember what the fuck it was that I was just doing. Uh, I've always been like that, but I mean, especially now, you know, I keep listening to music. That's one thing that Dad didn't do much of. He wasn't he wasn't a real avid listener of other people's songs, even though more than half the time when he played out, he was playing covers. I mean, he learned really quick. But he did that so that he could retain his originality. He wouldn't be influenced by anybody to change his sound. He wanted his sound. And I admire that. I also want my sound. But I cheat to get there. I listen to, and a lot of people do. He even said that he did when he was in his teens and 20s and shit like that. Listen to other songs of other people and watch, live concerts and shit like that. Watch their fingers so that he can incorporate, the thing that he liked about that into his own style and just do it in his own way. I'm the same. I haven't stopped listening to music. I like other people's music too much, It's not like I'm, rushing out to start a band or anything like that. I don't think that I'll ever get there, honestly. I'll always be a homebody player, but, yeah. I'm really, really glad that I got back into it. I have a couple of people that aren't here to thank for that. It's just, it's one footprint, one imprint that those people left on their way out. You leave little footprints and imprints throughout your entire life on people, places, yourself, milestones, moments in time, memories, shit like that. And then on some obviously, and then some I don't know, kind of maybe theoretically or supposedly. You leave an imprint with them too, like when when Grant passed, like all I could think about, excuse me, all I could think about was that he was always my biggest fan, even even when I was really first starting. I sounded like total shit. Everybody can play Nirvana. He always saw something there that I didn't see. I had no confidence, no faith in it. I lived in the shadow of a Leviathan in music. So being directly related to that kind of sets the bar way too high, just right out of the gate. I don't know, maybe it's just high enough. I took my own route, but he did. He always saw something else there that I don't know. I see it now, I think, but I surely didn't then. Because of that, I picked it back up. I don't know. I have my own thought process between the two to correlate them as to why that made me pick the guitar back up. Just in the most layman terms way of putting it, I just did it for him, picked it back up because he always wanted me to, even after I stopped playing, for many reasons, for years. He would always be upset or even kind of pissy that I wouldn't pick it up. and play. I mean, I had my reasons for that, but that wasn't good enough for him. So I picked it back up for him. I went ahead and faced those demons that kept me, for I don't know, for lack of a better way, less dramatic way to put it, face those demons to pick it back up. And then I don't know, I can kind of feel goals evolving and changing here and there musically these past 2 months since Dad's been gone. Again, I don't really feel like I don't even know if I really aspire to be the same level or not, professionalism and playing out, world renowned, shit like that. I don't think I really aspire to be that, but I do want to write my own shit. And I have since I was a teenager, before I ever really was any kind of decent at playing guitar. I always wrote lyrics and, I don't know, screamed through the page that way. And I still have all that, so some of it I'm still not embarrassed by, so I want to put some music behind it. Some of it was straight from the heart, straight from the mind, and straight from the soul, so I believe that some of those things deserve to have music behind them. I think I've kind of been working towards that anyway, but yeah, losing him kind of put that into a little bit of a higher gear. The inherited ability is at least somewhat there, on top of just self-awareness that, I am picking it up quickly. I'm not terrible. I can actually probably make a song that doesn't suck, as long as I can keep my head together about it. Yeah, just always wanted to do that. But yeah, that mixed with just that much more mortality is setting in. It's like, okay, you're 37, you're really, really quickly coming up on 38. I mean, shit, Dad was 66. Nobody lives forever. Judge me. So, if you're gonna do something, stop talking about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Start doing it. Get busy living. Get busy dying. I'm doing both. His little 30-minute service was on September 7th. And kind of jokingly labeled one of my videos the other day, Death at a Funeral. But there was a little bit of something behind that too, because anybody that's lost somebody that's close to them, I mean, you know what I mean? There was a death at the funeral, even though everybody walked out, except for, the person you went to see. Mm. But I think some things became brighter and more alive